council or individual council member cannot discuss issues, da, 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 da. Well, that's not how we get that.
Got it, appreciate it.
Session is one of the reasons we're allowed to go into executive session. They've got it where we cannot do it in this home rule.
Okay, folks, glad everybody's here. It's 6 o'clock, and we're going to call this to order. We're going to start with the invocation, please. So if you'll please rise.
Dear Heavenly Father, as we begin our meeting with a prayer and our pledge to the United States flag, may we be mindful that today, June the 14th, is set aside to honor and commemorate our flag and its design. We're profoundly grateful, Lord, that we live in this country that our flag represents and to live in our Morgan's Point Resort community. Lord, we ask you be with our staff and our council. Please give us discernment and wisdom to conduct the business of our city. May we be motivated by goodness and kindness. In your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you all. Since there's a couple of new people here, I get to read my usual deal here. Citizens who wish to address the council on any matter may sign up to do so, and you're still eligible to do that if you like. Public comments will be received during this portion of the meeting. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. If whatever you're talking about is not listed on our agenda, we cannot discuss it with you. We'll be glad to listen to you and hear your comments, but we won't be able to discuss it. That's by state law, okay? Not because we're ugly. Not because we're uncooperative. Okay. We're going to start with comments. And Dorothy, I guess you're the first one.
Yes, it's not on the agenda.
Oh, well, come on.
Dorothy Allen at 48 South Brooklyn Circle. And I just have a question, and that is on the strategic plan that the council and all the department heads developed back in March and I'm sorry I missed the last meeting, we were not in town, but it was, I guess, presented at the last council meeting. And I was wondering if you're going to have a public hearing on it, because there's some really good information in there, and I think it kind of changes the direction of our city from being resident focused to be hospitality, to create a hospitality destination. I think that's your vision. So I just want to see if you guys are going to have a public hearing on it to discuss the direction of the city with residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Dorothy. We'll take that into consideration. And last but not least, guess who? Miss Jim Ann?
I just would like to talk about the summer reading program for the girls and boys. In case everybody doesn't know, the library has a summer reading program the last 2 Saturdays in July and the first 2 Saturdays in August. And they're for preschoolers to 5th grade. Okay. Now, the theme this year is going to be our community. And the first Saturday, we're going to have the mayor and some council members, and they will have charge of the program for the girls and boys. The second Saturday, our fire department will have the program for the girls and boys. The third, the police department. And the fourth, we're going to have maintenance and water department. So we're looking forward to having all of our people in the city contribute, and it's going to be fun. So if you know of any children, sign them up. Oh, they can sign up on the website or at City Hall. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim Ann.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Chief, it's your turn. I understand there's some presentation and awards you'd like to, and recognition you'd like to do, so it's your turn.
You want me to hold anything, Chief? You got it?
No, come on.
Well, good evening. I'm Interim Chief Matthew Schutze with the Morgansport Resort Police Department. So I have some awards and some recognition that I want to give to some of our officers. So I'll start out with this. While organizing some files back in March, we located a law enforcement commendation medal that was never distributed to the recipient. This medal was given by the National Society of the Sons of the American Revolution and due to be presented to the officer in January of 2020. So it's a little late, and we apologize to this officer, but we still want to give him that recognition. So at this time, I would like to call up Officer Kyle Newsom. So the award reads, Kyle Newsom has been awarded the Law Enforcement Commendation Medal in recognition of outstanding achievement and dedication to the maintenance of law and order. So at this time, I would like y'all to congratulate Officer Newsom on his commendation. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, man.
So I have another award. This next officer I want to award has been with the department for 13 years this month. He's put in countless hours and has assisted in just about any way he can. He never complains about even the weirdest of tasks that we may ask of him. And with everything he does, he carries out those tasks with the highest of standards. His high standards and dedication to the department and its mission are why we are selecting him to lead our reserve officer program. Of course, he cannot lead our reserve officer program without a little rank, so that's why I'd like to call up Officer Raul Vidro. So, Officer Vidro, I am now promoting you to the rank of corporal to lead our reserve program. I'm proud to present this to you.
Congratulations. Well deserved.
Thank you.
Okay, so this next one was a little more difficult. While I want to award this officer, I also want to mention our department is not what it is without the help and dedication and the passion that each of our officers put into it. Unfortunately, I do have to single out one of our officers for this award. This officer has been with the department for over 14 years. He always volunteers to help in any capacity he can and sacrifices almost everything to make sure that his coworkers are taken care of. This officer struggles with technology, but despite that, he manages to persevere. This officer has seen many people come and go throughout his tenure with the department and has always been seen as a mentor to those who have worked with him. This officer not only does all this, but he also manages our volunteer-based dive team. And he does an excellent job at leading those individuals in missions where we are tasked with bringing someone's family member back to them. For this award, we ask each officer to nominate another officer for Officer of the Year. This year, we had a tie vote, and I was tasked with breaking that tie vote. So at this time, I want to call Officer Gus McMillan. Officer McMillan, I'm proud to present you with Officer of the Year for 2021. And along with that, Officer McMillan will receive a award ribbon that he will wear on his uniform, in his dress uniform. And so there is that award ribbon as well. And then with that, Officer of the Year, we have a perpetual plaque that we had just now started.
Perpetual plaque that we just started.
So the plaque will, of course, go over the next several years and will be hung in our police department. We may change that to City Hall to get a little bit more public view. But Officer Nealon is the first to lead our perpetual plaque for Officer of the Year. So I want to say congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow officers, I warned several of y'all not to give me this award because it would come back to haunt you. And since I have the floor, now I'm going to haunt you. The Officer of the Year is not one individual officer. It's not me. The Officer of the Year is every officer that wears a uniform, comes to work, and takes care of the citizens of this community unselfishly, sometimes underpaid. But it's not the pay. It's what we do for this community. I made a promise to this community almost 15 years ago when I got hired that I would retire in this community, and I will do that. I plan to be the first one that's been here that long to retire with 20-some odd years. But I couldn't do it with each and every one of these gentlemen that are standing here. I couldn't do it with each and every firefighter that backs us up on EMS calls. I couldn't do it with the streets department that takes care of our roads. I couldn't do it with the water department that furnishes the water to protect our citizens. I couldn't do it without the city council. Although sometimes we don't agree, I still will salute you and respect you regardless. This department's been through several administrations that have really harmed this department. This department is whole now. And I look forward to each and every one of you not to change what we have. We have picked this department up from the ground to a standing position with grins within the last 2 administrations. We have been treated with disrespect and dishonor. This department's now treated with respect and honor. And as a man that's going to retire here, I don't want to see it change. God bless everyone and each of you.
Congratulations, ma'am.
As far as awards go, actual physical awards, that's all I have for tonight, but I do have some recognition to give. So if Gus, if you'll set down your award real quick, and you and Officer Vedro come up here, or Corporal Vedro, come up here for a second. So we are modifying our department policy to allow for the wearing of ribbons, which was not allowed before, in dress uniform. And along with that, we are recognizing the officer's service as a peace officer. So if you will look on the officer's left sleeves here, they have what's called hash marks. Each hash mark represents 4 years of service as a peace officer, not just to this city, but to the state. So these are our first 2 individuals to have their hash marks sewn onto their uniform, and they will be distributed to each and every officer for their wearing on their dress uniform. So with that in mind, for years of service here, Sergeant Todd Hodge has been here 7 years. Officer McMillan has been here over 14 years. Joshua Boersma has been with the city for over 2 years. Michael Nipper has been with the city over 13 years. Matthew Thompson has been with the city for over 11 years. Kyle Newsom has actually, as of this month, just turned 6 years with the city and 6 years as a peace officer as well. McKenna Tibbetts has been with the city 9 months. And Ralph Orlando, who was here just a minute ago, but he's not here now, fire department training, has been with the department for over 16 years. And then Corporal Raul Vedro has been here 13 years as of this month as well. Like I said, so for their tenure, not only with the city, but with as a peace officer, the other officers for their dress uniform will see these hash marks for their service. I appreciate you guys for coming up. Thank you, sir. And then the last recognition, So along I said with the award ribbons for the officers for their dress uniform, there's a few award ribbons that we will be giving out, not tonight, but to the officers when they come in. So we have 3 field training officers. We have multiple field training officers, but 3 paid field training officers for our department. And they will receive a ribbon for that service as a field training officer to wear on the ribbon. That is Sergeant Todd Hodge, Officer Kyle Newsome, and Officer Matthew Thompson. Along with those award ribbons, we recognize our Master Peace Officers and our Advanced Peace Officer certifications from the state. Ralph Orlando will receive a award ribbon for having his Master Peace Officer certificate from the state. As far as Advanced Peace Officers, these officers will receive ribbons for certifying their advanced certification from the state. That is Sergeant Todd Hodge, Officer Gus McMillan, Officer Michael Nipper, Officer Matthew Thompson, Officer Kyle Newsome, and Corporal Raul Vitro. And like I said, as Gus mentioned too, and like I said before, this department wouldn't be what it is without them. The administration is the administration, but every day, the law enforcement work they get put in and put out is done by the people on the street, and that's who you're going to see every day when you call. And so I want to congratulate those who received awards tonight, and I want to thank each and every one of my members of my department. So thank you.
While we're kind of on the subject, has everybody noticed our new speed limit on 2483? It's been changed to 45, so, put flags up, so that's pretty obvious. But you gotta remember, yeah, somehow. Gotta remember, I was going through there today and I'm thinking, oops, boy, we gotta get in here. So, anyway, there it is. Okay, next on the agenda, is our consent agenda. And, Dalton, you wanna go over that? I know we got the minute from last May, and then there's also,
So, consent
Vehicle.
agenda it's, anything in the consent agenda can either be done as a whole, and do item 3 consent agenda all in, or if there's any item in there that you want to pick apart, you can pick it apart. For the vehicle purchase was something that was budgeted at the beginning of the year in the last budget, so that's why we put that one in here.
Right.
We just were waiting, just because of the market and
I
everything.
knew it was, but I
But yeah,
didn't-
so either way, however council wants to do it, it can either be done as a consent agenda as a whole, or in bits and pieces, however y'all want.
I need to have somebody make a motion to however they wanna do it.
I move for the approval of the consent agenda.
On both items?
Yes.
On both items?
Yes, it's the whole consent agenda.
I'll second.
Okay. Give me a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes, consent agenda passes. Okay, now we have Jimbo. We moved you up in the agenda, so, come on up. I shouldn't say Jimbo, that's kinda informal. Mr. Snyder is in charge of our,
Jimbo, Mr. Mayor, Jimbo's just fine.
I was gonna say, it's all over the signs of Mortgage Point. Jimbo's.
Yeah. Wonder how that got there.
everybody may not recognize you by your real
Looking
name.
like a one-name
you know.
person, you know?
Have no idea.
Not Madonna. I'll try to be brief. Good evening, all. Jimbo, that's all you need to know. So, I'm gonna go over home rule in the Summerfest here real quick. So for those who don't know, I'm the chairman of the home rule committee. I think everybody here knows that. Yeah, you guys all know that, so don't need to tell you. So I want to give you a quick update on where we're at with the home rule. We expect that our next meeting, which is going to be not this Friday, but the following Friday, should be hopefully our last working meeting. We should have a final product at the end of that one. I'm going to be reaching out to Grady this week to try to get the final draft, working copy draft, final sort of thing, out to the committee members so that we have at least a week to kind of go through it and make sure that we purge everything in our minds. And I fully anticipate that at the end of the next meeting, we should have a good finalized product, minus, maybe some syntax kind of stuff. So my intent is to be able to present the city council July 12th with our recommended charter. So at that point, then we'll start canvassing the population. I expect that we will shift from more of a formal committee type format into kind of a town hall format to where it's mainly answering questions like, why did you guys decide this, or what was the thought process or the rationale behind that? That seems to be the biggest questions we're getting right now from our fellow citizens, not so much what we decided, but why. So I think everybody kind of realizes that the give and take, the compromising has kind of finally come to a head, and we've reached almost a final point. So again, not this Friday, next Friday, library, 2 o'clock for anybody that wants to attend. Any questions from council on that before? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I have a question. I had asked that, that the council receive copies of the draft,
Yes, ma'am.
but I don't, are they
And
here?
we've not received them from the lawyer yet, so
Yeah,
once we.
I've not received
I'm
anything.
talking
Once
about
we
the
get-
one last time.
The last one?
Yeah.
Okay,
Just to
yeah.
get an update.
Let me
And
make a note.
I think it's real important that, because it has a lot to do with government, I think that the council needs to see it, because we're gonna go and say, okay, we're gonna put it on for election, or we're not gonna put it on for election. I think the council needs to be able to have plenty of time to review it before we make that decision. Did you say we're gonna do that in July?
No, so our next meeting, a week from Friday, is when I expect the committee to basically be finished with the product.
Right.
We will make our final changes, and then on the 12th, I should be able to present you guys the formal, hey, this is the charter moving forward. So, as far as drafts, yeah, I'll make sure that when we get the draft this week, which I'm hoping to get here in the next day or two, I'll make sure that I get it out to all of you folks as well,
Okay.
so, and
'Cause-
it'll get
'cause
posted in
several of
other
them
spots.
work and can't make the commission meeting,
Yeah.
and I think it's important they read. And the other thing is, could you please have copies of it when you do I don't know if you've set the next town hall
Mm-hmm.
meeting, but can you give copies to the citizens that come, because otherwise they don't even know what they're
Yep.
talking about.
I'll
So,
make a note of that, yes, ma'am.
thank you. You're doing such a great job, by the way.
I'm faking it till we make it.
You're doing a great job of faking it.
I'm gonna let that one go. One thing that was brought up that I do want to bring to council, we have a citizen that has requested a couple times, and it's actually not a bad idea, but it's up to you guys entirely, for a second opinion from an alternate attorney other than Grady, who's our attorney working the process. I've kind of gone around and informally canvassed members of the committee, and generally speaking, we don't think there's a need for that. However, that is up to you guys. We don't make that decision. We're just gonna give you the product. So, let you guys run with it from there. But I swore I would bring that up. So, any other questions from council on that? Okay. Moving forward to Summerfest. So Summerfest is rapidly approaching. We have I think a wonderful event that's gonna take place on the 3rd. I'm going to briefly cover this stuff. So the band, check, we've got them in place. Billy Holt Band is going to play tentatively right now, 4:30 to 8:30. Bounce House is checked. We're going to have 3 of those of various sizes for the various sized children's. We've got food trucks in place. We've got vendors. I've got 7 listed, and that list is continuing to grow. That will be down there. Fire-based Brewing is going to be on site, along with they partner with a cigar shop. The name escapes me right now, but they will be on site. The fireworks are in place and continuing to be set up. Chief, I saw Chief over there. So Philip is our fireworks guy. He does have a permit, just for the council's knowledge. He does have a permit, and he's also talked to Chris apparently over the burn ban, and everything is good to go. Leave that one to y'all. We've got a couple other events that are going to be coming on board, so we're looking good there. There will be a dunk tank, and I said I was going to challenge council, so all of you council members and city employees and heads of departments, I challenge you to raise more money than the loudmouth is gonna raise, which is this guy. So we're looking good there. We're starting to really canvass for sponsors and volunteers. Fellow citizens, feel free to volunteer. Primarily looking for folks to kind of man the bounce houses with the kiddos. So our next coordination meeting is in Dalton's office Thursday, 0900, and we should have a final product moving forward on that as well. Subject to your questions on that.
It's gonna be here at Clapis Park,
Yes, sir.
okay, and the time frame for this, I mean, not the date, but the time?
So on the 3rd, we start at 3 o'clock. We run through about, the band plays till 8:30. The band closes down shop then. We'll have some background music, and then the fireworks will start just after sunset, as soon as it's dark enough to actually have a decent show. So anticipate no later than 10 o'clock.
So it'll be here at Clapis Park.
Yes. Yeah, this whole area out here, a document will be coming out, a map showing where everything is going to be, The plan right now is this parking lot is gonna be completely closed for vendors and food trucks. They turn around here, all of these spots will be reserved for handicap, even the ones that are not currently handicapped, and also for pickup and drop off only. So, we know they're gonna have an issue with parking.
Are we gonna
So
have
make sure to be-
off-site parking somewhere where we do, bring
We-
somebody in, or
We
can we?
discussed that, and we didn't think we were going to get any participation this year.
Okay.
So that's something that we're going to look
Okay.
at again
We're
next
good.
year, as well as some golf cart traffic and things of that nature.
Thank you very much, we appreciate it, y'all doing a great job.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Fake it till you make it.
Once the Charter Commission gets through and they get everything finalized, there's gonna be a series of town hall meetings for the people to be able to sit down, look, preview everything, like Donna said, it'll be in writing. And, you'll get to talk to the members, so, and then come November, it'll be voted on. So this is not something that's taken lightly, and not something that we're gonna just brush over and have one deal and gone. You'll hear about that for the next 4 months, 5 months anyway, till we get everything finalized, bring it up to election, so, you'll get a chance to look at it. Okay, next thing, Sean, we're gonna look at, our new city branding and logo design, and Sean, I understand you gotta take it from there?
Yeah, I was looking at coming up with a new logo for the city because the one we currently have is kind of busy. And everybody on their little shirt, it just kind of, it's a big mess. So what I was really thinking of getting a little committee together to come up with
I can't hear you.
a new logo.
I like that, a new logo. I was trying to give you a little subtle hint.
All right, so we're trying to come up with a new logo, and we're trying to put a committee together to come up with a more simplistic logo for Morgan's Point. If anybody's got any suggestions, I would like to set up a committee to do that. And then we'll present it to the council and the citizens to see what they think.
Just keep some of that lake charm in it, you know, that.
Well,
I think
Donna,
I actually think.
You can come up with the design.
No, I'm not an artist, but I actually love our logo. I know it's a little bit too busy, but I love the lake and the sailboat.
The sailboat is kind of iconic for Morgan's Point, it seems
Yeah,
like. If
you know,
there's a way
so
you could incorporate
don't
that in
stray
there.
too far,
Okay.
You're a
Him not-
wonderful
You,
artist, so.
you
Bring us a couple of possibilities or
Yeah,
whatever.
is anybody else
Yeah.
in the community an artist? Pass that along that we're
Come on,
looking.
volunteer somebody, come on.
We're looking for ideas
You know,
too.
we have an art teacher, well, you know, maybe check with Barbara Wilson, you know, she teaches art and does a wonderful job. I'm sure
We'll
she
give you
has
crayons.
creative ideas.
Okay, that's all I wanted to present.
Okay,
Thanks,
okay.
thank you, Sean, for looking at that.
Appreciate
too.
that, sir. Okay, item number 6. Dalton, this is yours on our compensation study.
Yes, so we met with LGC, Lori Messer, on getting kind of the comparable cities, you know, we're looking at. So the initial list that we kind of sent was, in a way, it was kind of off target from what even they were kind of looking at and what we were looking at. So we came up with 19 cities. And so the concept that we have, and again, this is, I won't say this is preemptive, this is the list that we're kind of submitting. Usually it's about 15 cities roughly will return their survey results back. We chose these, one, it's kind of a little bit broad in that it's regional. So looking at the Waco region, Austin region, there's one that was kind of off-brand, a city of Argyle, which was very similar as far as population and some of our budgeting, you know, with that. And then, of course, the Temple region. There's 2 trains of thought when you're looking at this outside of the geographical piece. So on the initial sheet, and I'll send that out to council when we get it, it talks about, like, for example, Harker Heights. It'll have a geographical factor, which means that they're gonna actually lower their rates to compare and fall in line with something. Because otherwise, every city would be so unique that you can never compare anything with any city. So the 2 trains of thought are management and non-management. So public works, maintenance, some of the, you know, the common, you know, working jobs. Not to say that we don't work, but that's questionable sometimes. But, you know, the public works jobs, those are ones that can find in a 50-mile radius, and these are the ones that can go and they will kind of pick and choose. The management jobs, obviously, you're not going to take a management position from City of Temple or Killeen to fall into the management style. So they break those up into how they do that. So this is just the survey component. How we break those down and analyze those even further will be the next step once the survey instrument and everything gets sent out and come out. So I wanted to put this in front of council, 1, to get everybody's thoughts, 2, to see if there was hard no's. Or if we want to scrap it completely and go a completely different direction, just kind of wanted to put this in front of everybody since I know this was kind of.
Well, this is strictly for comparison purposes anyway. It gives us an idea of what's out there. Labor is gonna be certainly gonna be a big issue in our future, no doubt about it. So, I think you need to, it's up to y'all. What do you think? I mean, basically, this is just a comparison deal right now. We're not deciding anything tonight. Nothing's gonna be established, so.
I'm just not too comfortable with the Austin area. Austin is a whole different animal, no matter what the size of their budget. It's off the charts. And so I think that would kind of skew some of it. Other than that,
Well, it just, if you don't feel that's right,
He
just,
said
just,
Austin.
just eliminate
Well,
Austin.
No, just the
Yeah.
region. So like Horseshoe Bay, which is a lakeside community.
It's a region, yeah.
Yeah, Austin is not on there. It'd just be some of the regional ones. So the other concept
you had
is.
mentioned Austin.
Yeah.
Not Austin proper, but Austin.
Austin like,
region.
yeah, the Austin MPO, the metropolitan area.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with the Austin area.
Yeah, not sure how much Georgetown would compare to Morgan's Point. I mean, being a suburb of the Austin area. Horseshoe Bay, I mean, again, that's, you look at the value of homes there.
Very
versus here.
wealthy community.
And that's kind of where it gets tough, yeah. So the geographical piece, they factored in. So once we know a little bit more as the geographical component comes in, we're not gonna, if we see, for example, a Horseshoe Bay, and on one of the other emails that we had, which was really kind of way off, we shifted it completely, not completely, but took about half of them. You'll have like, even Harker Heights, it'll have a 98.3% geographical factor, which means that anything that they have on there would be substantially lowered. And then breaking down even further, you're not gonna have like, management positions, on that. So yes, we don't have lifeguards as a benchmark. Obviously with Austin, that completely changes the game. Even Georgetown and a lot of those places are like public works wise, nobody's even comparing with even the city of Austin. Most of them compare and benchmark based off of Granite Shoals or other comparable smaller cities. So we try to find a balance of a little bit of everything. One of the ones that's really actually, I'd say in line, not necessarily budget-wise, but kind of where regionally, looking at Waco kind of region, you have McGregor, Belmead, even though they might be a little bit different, they're kind of the same concept as us, where we could potentially lose people to the Temple and the Beltons. So by comparing those regions, you're really kind of comparing these smaller cities going into these larger ones, and how geographically smaller cities will leave for the larger cities, and then we find that balance. One of the things in the analysis that we are gonna do, and I talked to Lori about it, is we're gonna kind of run multiple analyses. One kind of with some of the larger cities in there, or regions, and one with kind of without it. Because we're kind of curious too on what that delta is in this market and how big of a shift it is. So we'll look at multiple avenues. It's not gonna be a direct comparison, apples to apples. It's finding those comparable factors in it, so.
So will we see the top and then will we see the bottom?
There will be
It'd be the
more
whole thing.
detail than you could ever possibly want.
I just wanted to bring to everybody's attention that we are forward-going on this, so.
Do you have any time frame in mind? Because we talked about doing meetings separate on salaries in general and reviewing this study, so.
Correct. So once this goes out, we talked to her today. Once the survey instrument is already going out, we're already starting to get just some, hey, we're gonna get this back as soon as possible. Once they get all the information from those who had done, we'll help kind of push it along as well. As soon as we can kind of have an idea of a time frame, we'll have it. But we will have a workshop set up specifically for this day. And then, yeah.
We agreed
I'll-
upon that. I think that was part of the resolution last time, that we were gonna have a separate
Yeah,
workshop.
we'll definitely get that on there.
Good, thank you.
Okay, moving right along. Donna, it's your turn on the auxiliary.
Oh, okay.
We're moving right along here.
Yeah, we are. Okay, this is the Ladies Auxiliary Report that was submitted by Karen Steigner, who is the president. They met on Thursday. The ice machine, they purchased an ice machine. The fire department, I'm sure you're thrilled about that, right? And probably the police use it too. So they're gonna do a thank you photo that's scheduled for Tuesday, June 21st, 6:30, with the Walmart reps in the city and auxiliary and VFW reps. They have scheduled, so if you've got out your 2023 calendars out there, the chili cook-off and the 5K run will be March 25th of 23. The Valentine's Ball will be February 11th of 2023. That's a great time. They're going to bring, for the first time, the welcome bags. They have them ready. And so they're going to be at the Summerfest, and they're going to pass out to the newcomers the welcome wagon bag. So that's going to be great. Alaskan Cruise, they're going August 8th through the 16th. They might be adding more cabins if more people are interested, so you can still get information on that. They're going to have a garage sale this weekend, and it's going to be at One Ash Court, which is out off Great West Loop. It's going to be the 17th and 18th, so Friday and Saturday. So I heard they've got a lot of really nice things in this garage sale. They were talking about it at Water Aerobics today. So it's from 8 to 3, and Saturday it's 8 to 12. So you get out there early enough when it's cooler, and this is a great fundraiser for them. The Water Aerobics are going on. They started June the 2nd through August the 11th on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so anybody that's done it, and I see a few of the ladies in the room, that's a great way to exercise, a lot of fun, a lot of fellowship, and another fundraiser for them. The annual scholarship, they're revamping their scholarship program, and they have Mary Stockley and April Hinojos, did I kill it, Lynn? Okay, they're gonna be the team leaders of it, and they're gonna give us more information as it comes along. The Senior Expo that they do, team leader Karen is gonna take under that. The Themes Under the Sea, that's September 27th. They do this at the Expo Center, and they pass out the Vial of Life to senior citizens, and that's always a great program for the seniors. Santa Pal, they're gonna be working with the VFA, the Santa program, and they're planning on delivery the 18th of December and kicking it off November 28th. So they'll be looking for applications, anybody that wants to do that. And they say there's plenty more going on. Follow them on Facebook. They've got a great Facebook page that you can follow. It's a lot of fun. And so it's just Ladies Auxiliary to the Mortgage Point Volunteer Fire Department. And you can put the initials in it. It'll get you there. And lastly and always, thank you for your continued support for activities and fundraisers. And that was Karen Steiger.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Anybody on our, Karen, do you have anything to say? Or any comments for you, or you, Carrie, anybody? Chief, do you have anything?
I want to say something about the fire department. I was reading through there, believe it or not, I read the stuff. Oh, and I know you probably want to do cops, Lynn. 425% up on your calls. Did I read that right? Wow. Be very careful out there. Be very careful. I'm telling you, every time I'm looking on Facebook, you guys are on it, defending people's property. We appreciate y'all so much.
Just for the record, the fact that we know about the fireworks display doesn't mean we condone fireworks. Just so you know, in the county, it's not in the city.
Yeah, and isn't it over the lake or
It's over the
something?
lake.
Yeah, over bodies of water,
We're
so.
team players, but
Yeah.
don't tempt the police department, they're not as fun.
Well, good.
They'll take
Well,
you.
thank y'all. I know y'all are so super busy.
And
I know
Lynn,
Lynn, you
wanted-
have something?
Yes, on behalf of MDR Cops, one, I want to say thank you to everybody that participated in our quilt raffle. We ended up bringing $550 for the men raffle, food and everything else. And, it was a beautiful quilt, and I thank so much, Joe for his donation, and it might do it, but it was a good time, thank you. Kids Fish, I cannot say enough about Kid Fish. If you didn't come, you should have. I've made my best friend is 4 years old. His name is Nathan. He's a bomb, and he can catch fish bigger than he is. And, but it was awesome. And I can't thank the city enough, the Works Department, Taryn, and the fire department, and the police officers. They kicked butt. It was great. The game wardens, the dive team, and then the volunteers from here in the city. I mean, we were up at 5 o'clock in the morning. We were going to retrieve worms. We had trucks full of worms, and we had trucks full of snacks, and we had everything there was. And everybody was busy, and everybody was happy about it too. Nobody was, frowning, grumpy, and putting tables down. The city had it all in a trailer. It was a great time. We had about 68, I think, for our first one back, since we've been missing so many years for COVID and all the flooding that in the seat, he was great.
I pawned it off on Sheetsy. Thank you, Chief.
Kept us laughing, and, it was just a great time, and I appreciate every one of y'all. It was a really, really good time. Thank y'all for coming out. You didn't really have to. Thank you.
Can I add one more?
The church?
Yes.
Yes,
I
yeah,
am not
Brother Jeremy,
Baptist,
yeah.
and I do not go to the church. I didn't always say the name wrong, so it's either Friendship or Fellowship.
Fellowship
But
Baptist Church.
Jeremy, Pastor Jeremy, they came to the chili cook-off, they were having fish, they were giving out snacks, and
Very good.
they partnered with our city, I think,
They do so well.
extremely constructively.
They partner with us at, our Halloween deal, they partner with us at, our eggs at Easter, they're wonderful people, just wonderful people. And I am Baptist, but. I figured. We are also gonna be at a booth at the Senior Expo. This year's, it's a pirate theme, that's what the expo is, be pirate theme, exactly.
Ah.
And so, come on out to our table, we'll have it all decked up in, pirate regalia and all that good stuff, and hand out some, giveaways and everything for the seniors. And that is September 27th, as Don said. We are really gearing up big time for our second annual Nipper Memorial Barbecue Cook-Off. That is October 14th and 15th. We have added a band this year, and we have also added some, booths and whatnot for folks around here that locals that make particular crafts or whatever their thing is. And it's gonna be fabulous. And we'll be serving food both Friday night, Saturday morning, and Saturday afternoon area. So everybody's families can come out, they can all come out, and there will be food. There will be. So it's gonna be great.
We'll keep you up, you keep us updated on that throughout the different months that are, yeah.
We're so excited.
Yeah.
It is a sanctioned event. This year, the cook-off, so far, from all the people I've talked to in other towns that have had theirs, they've been averaging 37 cook teams. Now, last year, many of y'all came out to ours, it was the first time, and it wasn't also mandated that they be at every one, so they didn't have to come everyone to win it. This time they do, and last year we had 19 as our first time, and that was more than some of the cook-offs have that have been having them for years. But everybody right now is averaging 37 to 39 cook teams at all those places. It is, I believe it is going to be big and loud and full of fun.
Stay on top of it, we appreciate it. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you for all
Thank
you
very
do,
much,
Lynn.
yeah.
We appreciate
Yeah.
you.
Dalton, would you have anything?
I do. A couple things. If you haven't seen them out and about, maintenance is working on potholes and some roads. They've been working on, I think, probably about 12 or 13 of them as of today. They started yesterday. So if you see them out and about, that's what they're doing. It's pretty hot, so they're starting a little bit earlier. So if you can't get a hold of them after about 3:30 or 4, it's because they've hung up their hat. We got 3 pallets of cold mix right now, and then they'll be working on some hot mix at some point later on for some of our bigger projects. So that's ongoing. Pool is doing well. We currently have, as of today, about 136 season passes, as of yesterday, 136 season passes total, 93 resident, 35 non-resident, 8 individual. And I think they had about 500 in sales today in season passes. So, we've kind of shifted already on the food trucks a little bit. Some of the food ones haven't been doing as well, but the snow cone ones are killing it, and so they want to continue to come out here and do that. We did get the 50 amp breakers put in. We got 2 of them. Maintenance got 2 of the 50 amp breakers put in for the food trucks out here. So that'll eliminate some of the generator use, especially for July 4th or July 3rd and future events as well. So that is all I got for now.
Okay. Well, let's go through council. Donna, would you like started? Do you have anything, any comments you like?
No, just, I mean, when you sit here and listen to all the things that are being done in the city and planned in the cities and logos and all this, isn't it exciting? It's so much fun, and I'm so happy that we keep up the great traditions that we have, and they just keep getting better and better each year. I hope we never lose keeping our traditions in this city. It's so vital, makes us who we are. So appreciate everybody who keeps that up and works so hard to keep it going. I appreciate all our staff out working in this heat.
I think the last.
Jerry, you have something?
I have a quick question, because I can't hear a lot back there. I know something came up on the discussion on the city logo. I
That's all right.
a contest and let people submit their idea for Love Elephant and something.
We could do that. Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear everything back here.
May I say something?
Yes.
Picking up on him, I'm coming from a town on the other side of the Atlantic that has a logo since 1,000 years. Everybody knows it, it never changes. I like the Morgan's Point logo, and if you talk about traditions, I think we should just keep it, because it's a tradition, isn't it? So, I want to value what he says, and whoever wants to do it.
Well, we haven't decided we're gonna change it. We're gonna look at it and see if there's a way we could possibly refresh it and maybe not do anything. But that's a possibility
I
too,
think it's
so.
important to hear what
yeah.
y'all, that y'all do
But
love it as much as
yeah.
I do.
Until you look, you don't know. So Sean's gonna look at it and he may put it out to a contest. That might be a possibility.
Yes, you know my number. Just call me. You got any suggestions?
He's
Bring
listed.
bring it. What we're wanting, I thought it would be a more simplistic logo, something recognizable. If you wore that shirt across the street, oh yeah, well that's Waco's W with the star. Something similar that we could use to promote our city.
So like I said, there's still, that's all for discussion, so there's nothing been decided on it right now.
Yeah, we probably have to vote on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruce, you,
No, I think that's important. And we're unique. We don't have to be like everybody.
Barbecue set up, there's actually Morgan's Point, I don't know if the fire department did it, they have those set up, and you can buy them Morgan's Point hats and t-shirts.
A flag. We've got a flag for our city. I have too many clothes I'd have to get rid of. I mean,
Bruce, you have anything?
yeah.
All the new fire hoses, actually, it's the Morgan's Point logo color.
Oh, well, okay.
That's how we know it's ours.
Bruce, you have anything?
Oh, I just wanted to say that, I'm really excited to see all the recognition that was given to our police officers tonight. And I just want to personally thank our public works people and our emergency responders. We really do appreciate y'all and what you do. And, you know, we're here to support, and that's what we want to do. I want to thank the citizens for coming out and being involved tonight. Great to see everybody here.
Holly?
I'll just ditto what he said, and thank y'all for coming out. I'm gonna go home and try to salvage the meat in my freezer that's thawed out now.
Oh, no.
Sean, you want to follow that?
Well, I was following Donna's comment, and I was like, in the last 2 years, we've had a lot of participation in the community, and that's really admirable. People are getting involved as we get these committees and things, different things in the city working up. More and more people are getting involved. I like that.
Neil, I'll even ask you if you want to say anything. We normally don't do that, so you kind of quiet. Do you want to speak out for a change?
No, sir, my job is to be quiet unless y'all are getting ready to make a really big mistake.
Yeah, just let us know, like this to me or something, right?
And we're going to come to a close here, but thank you, everybody, for coming out. And just like Sean said, we couldn't survive without our volunteers. I mean, they're an integral part of our community, in every facet of our community. I don't care what it is. There's volunteers involved, police, fire, everything. And so keep it up. That's all I can say. Appreciate it very much. And
And a shout out to our admin staff too. They get left out because they're in the air conditioning, but.
right, here you
But
go.
y'all work super hard, too.
Details.
I don't want to
gonna
degrade
go
the staff,
sabotage
so
your,
thank y'all for being here and hope to see y'all next week or before. Any questions? Do I hear a motion to
I
adjourn?
move we adjourn.
I second.
All in favor? Aye. No opposed? Good, everybody's good.
Technically,
No, I think we all just kind of moved out.
you're here for this, so you know we're three on it. It needs a second, but it doesn't mean you should, whether it got you there today or not, you're gonna get a legal representation. Yeah, I have.
It'll just be defined to one, so ideally, this is going back to looking at, 9-1, or 10-1, 18 on the way through 9-1, so you're gonna have to refresh your memory, but hopefully when this one's done, then